A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy. The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid manyfold, and the end is not yet. If they do not now accept our terms, they may expect a rain of ruin from the air, the like of which has never been seen on this earth.
War is always a crime against the self and humanity. That's kind of how I see it. So I don't know if we were to really critique people on war crimes, Obama would be in prison. So would Hillary. So would Bush and Bill Clinton. You know, they're all these people. They'd be in prison. Reagan. I mean, I don't know why people look up to these people. You know, it's ridiculous.
We justify a lot of bad things that this country has done in the name of, like, you know, freedom, you know, American style democracy and freedom.
それは私が生まれる前に起こったことだから実際には体験してなくて、だけどすごく重要なことで、日本にとっては、実際にうちのおばあちゃんが体験したので、おばあちゃんがよく私に言ってくるのは、それはもう本当に地獄のような光景だったって聞いてます。
アメリカは日本にとって、やってはいけないことをしたと思います。原爆は本当に危険で脅威だし、で罪のない人をたくさん殺したのは事実です。ただ昔のアメリカの行為が罪なだけであって、今のアメリカは大好きです。
Different military did bad things. That's very bad things. Yeah.
So, I don't think it was necessary at all. There was so many different options that they could have implemented, but they decided not to because, you know, the truth is they wanted to test that bomb. They wanted to see the destructiveness of it, and you know, all those lives that were lost, like they shouldn't have not been bombed. They were basically a science experiment for the United States, if you want to look at it that way. A very, 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 very bad science experiment, and you know, innocent people did not deserve to die that way.
The idea of freedom in America is definitely diminishing, and that's only because we're allowing it by allowing our government to do this.
アメリカの自由にすごく憧れます。自分がアメリカに実際行った時にたくさんの笑顔とすごいアメリカ人がフレンドリーだったのが印象に残っています。日本のフリーダムとアメリカのフリーダムは結構異なるところが多いと思います。
私が思うのは、銃社会だと思います。日本ではその銃を持つことが禁止されているので、 やっぱそう思ったのと、あとアメリカ映画とかでよく見るのでそうだと思いました。
America, it's very freedom, but you know, like responsibility is very big, strong. Yeah.
So what do you think about America's freedom versus Japan's freedom?
I think Japan is not freedom because like everything is very too serious. People don't think Japan is freedom. So yeah.
日本の自由の方がいいかなと思います。日本はそう生活保護とかその国からの援助が手厚い分があるので、アメリカはそのね保険がないっていうことから、怪我とか病気してしまったら大金がかかるので、そういう部分に関しては日本のがいいかなと思います。
I didn't come up with the idea of America. Somebody told me this idea when I was in school. It was uploaded into my psyche, and then I repeated it. So it's not my idea, and I feel absolutely no reason to take pride in an idea that I inherently did not create for myself. In fact, I think that's just very lazy.
Propaganda media is so powerful. People don't realize it. They take it for granted, but you can change people's mind.
People need to assess the way they think if they really want progress. And so yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange because you can't blame yourself because you're manipulated, but you can because you believed in it without actually thinking it through. So, but I think the overall result of this shouldn't be to play victim, because that's what the school system works on, is a bunch of victims.
Because growing up in the United States, you have this whole image that we bombed them because even to today when we bombed them because it was the only way to end the war. But once you start looking at the facts and history, you start realizing that Japan filed for peace a couple of weeks before we even dropped the bomb in Russia, and people don't know that till this day. It's not known history. It's not in the history books. I haven't read one history book that said that, or one movie that tells us that Japan wanted peace before we dropped the bombs. And you start realizing that these bombs were a test. They hit civilian areas. They wanted to see how much damage can be put, how many people it could kill. And you start realizing that these narratives that were being taught about the United States is here for peace. They wanted to end the war. They wanted to save lives. Till this day, no president has ever apologized for it, and it is their policy to not apologize for it because they feel like it's justified, but it's not justified. We need to apologize for that because we killed innocent people. Plain and simple, it was genocide. America did perform genocide, but no one puts the United States in trial. No one holds them accountable for any of that happened, and that's how I feel about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I'm not looking down on the soldiers that fought on both sides. They were both lied to and manipulated, and that's why I really have this disgust, really, of the idea of countries. And people believe they need to have other human beings that are no different than they are to govern their lives.
They say a lot of bad things about the millennials, but at the same time, millennials, we don't want racism. We want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. We're fighting for all these rights. We're making something happen, and it's the millennials. I feel like they might be the change that this world needs.
I have a tremendous amount of faith in humanity when we realize what we are, when we realize that we're not a skin pigmentation, when we realize we're not this stupid idea of countries, or we take pride in regions that we were born on, that we had no choice of.